this video is dedicated simply to the final dungeon. There's going to be some editing here and there where I just cut out some segments because I did some backtracking looking for certain things, namely some Rean ore fragments. And I figure you guys would probably get tired of seeing 10 minutes or so of backtracking me going to every little corner to make sure I didn't miss any of them.
Rean!
Hold on to that thought for now. Let's just keep moving.
Right?
Yeah, one of the things that sucks about playing games this early is that walkthroughs information are not as available. So like right here I was wondering, do I have to cut through those? In reality you have to find certain switches and then hit them. Certain ones require you to hit them with certain weapon types, so you have to switch to a different character. In the event you don't have the weapon type with you, all your characters here at the beginning, you just have to walk back and get one of them that does. Which is probably one of the reasons why we have 3 support slots instead of the usual 2. Simply because weapon type does factor into the puzzles of this place. And I should also mention, while this is technically the final dungeon, you don't exactly fight the final boss here. I'd say the guy down here is strong enough to be the final boss, but the actual final boss of the story is a little disappointing in my opinion, and I'll go into a lot of detail about that in the final video, which will be the one after this. I'll do that after the credits, of course, because the game takes a really strange turn, and it doesn't quite work for me, but don't worry about that. Anyway, I'm going to go quiet now as I move to the first fight that I'm going to commentate, and we'll work our way towards the boss of this place. See you there.
Oh, that's a beautiful looking treasure chest. This monster seems dangerous. Be careful. It's my turn.
Right.
Leave them.
got this!
Spike treasure.
Leave it to me. Eat that.
I've got this!
Oh, that's a beautiful looking treasure chest. It's my turn.
Right. Eat that. Oh,
I've got this.
what a nice looking treasure chest.
You know, it'd be nice if your teammates actually said, hey, that chest is different. I wonder if it's safe to open, or something along those lines, instead of just, hey, it's a chest. But anyway, off color, you know it's trapped. There are 2 of these, I believe, maybe 3.
Enemy sighted. Let's take them
And
out.
this is probably the least of the 3. You'll see what I mean when we get there. But it's your 8 enemy fight. I go ahead and lead off with an arc slash, just try to thin out the herd. One of the enemies got vanished away. Now the thing about vanish is I don't know if you still get the kill credit for it, like the EXP, the Sebith, and so on.
Dance,
Because I've
please.
never seen an item drop from them, which makes me wonder if it's something that you don't get credit for.
My turn.
Right here you'll see Nocturne Bell in action.
Shining darkness.
In case you're wondering, since we're approaching the end, I am trying to show off some of the moves. Like, one of the things I do not do is show off Elisa's new S-Break.
Leave it to me.
I never put her back into the party since I don't really care for the character, and so on. We never saw Millions because I don't even know if I actually brought her to a fight with me.
No way.
Are you alright?
Thanks.
But anyway, right there you can see the auto tier in action, which is both good and bad. If you're wondering why it's good, it's free healing. I don't believe you actually pay EP to use that. And the reason why it's bad is that's not
It's my
actually
turn.
the tier spell for them. Tier for both
Here we go.
Elliot and Emma will heal for over 3,000 normally. So we're actually wasting a Link level on a subpar healing spell that isn't even reliable. I mean, I could partially understand the reason for it being a lower tier spell if it was consistent, but it's just bad.
Leave it to me.
Anyway, I'm going to keep up the petrifying shell here. I'm aiming for the big ones because obviously they're the more dangerous.
Walk it away.
The little bugs are essentially bugs, not even worth the effort of squashing. And I think I use the Ethereal Edge here to prove
Gleaming
that.
blades. Go!
So down they go.
My turn.
And we're now left with the two big ones.
There.
Right.
And then there's one.
Leave it to me.
So you can see this chest isn't really...
My turn.
The monsters here aren't anything special. As for the reward, at this point you start getting the super rare gems, which are... they're complicated. They give you usually one spell and then a lot of one stat.
Okay.
So there's one that's going to give Rean a fire spell and then also something like 80 strength. So the strength is pretty awesome, don't get me wrong. It's just... I don't care for the magic system in this game. I prefer the older one, even though it's a
Making
little bit more
progress.
complicated.
Not bad.
It would be nice if some of these new quartz actually did carry over, but it's just really complicated. You basically have... Okay, I got the shadow one. This I don't actually start using for a little while. It speeds up casting time. It'd actually be really good on Emma since I use her as an offensive caster. Oh well. So to go over what I hate about the casting system real quick, you now use your orbment for raw stats. They're no longer percentages, they're fixed numbers. And in order to keep your casters relevant, either you need a specific quartz, which may or may not even exist in the first place. And from there, if it doesn't, you then have to come up with some sort of arrangement that will supplement it. And in trying to do so, it could set you further and further back. So I'm not a fan of the Master Quartz system because it just causes you, like, to really use it, you have to put in a lot of grinding. And as for the new system, like I said, it's far from optimal. In case you're wondering, I have finished the game at this point, so yes, I am reflecting on thoughts I have after doing everything. And I'll go into more depth when I actually do the final video, but you'll start getting hints here and there about what I think about different things now that everything is set in stone.
I know. I'll be careful, I promise.
I always get this feeling like Emma can actually understand something.
It's my turn.
My turn.
Leave it to me.
Here we go.
Yeah.
My turn.
Leave it to me.
I've got this.
Yeah.
My turn.
Right. Eat that!
That one looks annoying. Watch out. Yeah! Here! Right!
Leave it to me. Eat that!
That one looks annoying. Watch out.
Eat that!
That looks like a strong one. Be careful.
Eat that!
That one looks annoying. Watch out.
Here we go!
Yeah!
Right!
This monster seems dangerous. Be careful.
we go!
This monster seems dangerous. Be careful.
That looks like a tough one. Be careful.
Okay.
My turn.
Leave it. Eat that! Eat that! Eat that! Here we go!
Is that a treasure chest?
Here we are with the second trap chest, and the thing of note for this one is that my card filled up, so I actually have to stop
Take 'em out.
partway through the fight
Here we go.
and move some files around.
Arcus, activate.
But as for the golems, these things have sky-high defense, they have AoE attacks, and they have a lot of strength. All the things to make a really annoying enemy. All things considered, I do not recommend fighting this enemy other than just getting them in your monster book or this one
Oh, Moon,
fight.
shield us from harm. Crescent shell.
Simply because they're not worth it.
My turn.
So I believe this is the first time you'll see Crescent Shell because
Chiming
Most
darkness.
fights don't necessitate it.
Nocturne bell.
This one is annoying enough to do so. Like, one of the big problems for this area is that the enemies are going up in level,
Leave it to me.
but their EXP payouts aren't. So, as a result, you're going to either have to spend a lot of time grinding, or
Walking away.
just going at low level. And in case you're wondering what I do, I just go low level. It makes the boss here a lot worse, but it's possible still. You do need something
Sorry,
help, though.
everyone.
So Grim Butterfly falls on 0 hour turn, as a result I don't have to pay for it, but it would have been nice to get something else there instead.
I'll help. Thanks.
And right there is kind of what's cool about Machias. In case you didn't know what auto charge does, it gives you a shot of EP basically. So it's really nice to pair Machias with casters in most cases, but like this late in the game, team competitions have changed somewhat.
My turn.
So I believe these things are weakest to time, so I'm going to try switching over. Unfortunately, there aren't really a lot of good chords that give time spells buffs or debuffs, so makes this all far, far more. To make things worse, at this point of the game, the enemies are starting to become resistant or flat out immune to delay, so you can't even use Arc Slash and Autumn Leaf Cutter to delay turns that much. As a result, you actually have to start getting ready to fight fairly for once in the entire game.
Burn to
I
ash.
can't believe I used the Flame Impact on the road. I may not have noticed.
Has a chance. Gotcha.
So right there, we're now at 5 Brave points, and as if you're wondering, this group is not really
My turn.
using the points on. Simply because of how high their defense is, a burst is going to be really, really ineffective. The people who do the most would be Emma and Elliot, which is kind of sad, all things considered. And in case you're wondering, I have Mobius equipped on Machias, which is why he gets healed for different amounts than the actual items say. And right here I'm going to pop a Tyrol Balm on Rean because I have all these items, and like I said, there's one fight coming left where you can really use them. So the God Hand descends. In case you're wondering, that's where the card filled up, which is why there was a bit of a weird skip.
Activate. My turn.
So we're back in this. I have to try to figure out what exactly I was up to before walking away. I got lucky with the freeze dance effect there. And I can't quite see how long that lasts on him. Like that number is like a pixel on my screen. So freeze dance effect may actually be pretty worthwhile for them. It's something I can't
Thank you very
so.
much.
But we've been in this fight for about 4 minutes now. Hopefully you guys see how annoying these friggin' golems are.
My turn.
Right.
And right here should be the finishing blow. So I really don't care to overkill them. It's just
It's
now
my
the
turn.
hassle of trying to set
Eat
it
that.
up.
Go.
Pretty much if you want to overkill something,
my
I
turn.
recommend getting to an easier group to kill. That way you can farm faster and more efficiently and everything. Instead, I'm stuck here with this damn stone.
All right, let's keep
Yeah, I
going.
like you better as a Moai statue. And our reward for this is going to be another gem, I believe, or this piece of armor, too. Chakravanti gem. So I equip this on Elliot, I believe. It gives you that Claymore Slay move. And I think it gives like something like 80 art attack or something. I think I was more distracted by the potential loot here in the crystal. So you can see right there it gives 180 EP, and then Silverthorn, Saintly Force, and Crescent Mirror. So I was wondering, should I try to put this on Emma, but ultimately I decided to put it on Elliot. I can get rid of the Brahma gem. I thought I got rid of the Brahma gem. I probably got rid of it for something else then eventually, because I am thinking about my endgame setup.
It's my turn.
So once again, you gotta find the right weapon type.
Leave.
And there we go. So I'm jumping to the next fight.
Ah, it's a treasure chest.
Here we go.
A challenging foe. We should engage it with care.
That looks like a strong one. Be careful.
And you may notice the trap chest in the distance. We
Oh,
got the final
what a
scoring
nice-looking
ore
treasure
shards.
chest.
We'll be jumping out shortly to go get our weapons. But this one is probably the most annoying one yet.
Stay on guard and don't get cocky. Go.
So if you actually had these Amurian weapons, you deal a little bit more damage, but it's not too much sad. In reality, I'm using Gale, hoping that
Leave it
Juggler
to me.
will drop some stats effects here and there to get the numbers under control. In case you're wondering, Rean's move, Azure Flame, or whatever it's called, it's not global, it's still a large radius, and it's
Locked and loaded.
not the greatest.
Won't get away.
The only one I believe here that has global is
Finish him off.
Emma?
Right.
Elliot, I'm not sure.
Take it.
Right here you can see me rack up the overkill bonuses. the small fryer down, and then you're stuck with these things, which are really, really annoying.
No way!
Sadly, at this point of the game, it seems like the whole strategy aspect the devs come up with is just tack on more HP. More HP.
Are you alright?
More HP.
Thanks.
And as a result, these fights get really, really long and really, really boring.
There!
Wow, great towers. Lord Erebonius. Rest in peace.
So, in case you're wondering, I use that because Emma's dead to rights.
Right.
There really isn't much I can do to save her. I could use a craft holy song, but this is a band-aid. It's not going to actually contribute much in the long run because they can two-shot her.
Leave it to me.
Pretty much at this point, my way of keeping her alive would be to just put a stats effect on one of them and disables them. Because we've already run into groups that are crazy about AoE, and like I said, these are the same thing, just more HP.
Go!
I have tried spreading out to try to deal with these, and it doesn't really make that much of an impact because in order to get far enough apart for their moves to not really affect you, you have to get far enough apart to where your moves can't affect you.
You okay?
So as a result, you have to rely on either spells, which have delay in casting, or stick close enough to where the crafts can still work, but you do jeopardize yourself.
Thank you very much.
Fire line.
My turn. There!
So right here I'm using the Autumn Leaf Cutter to impede.
It's my turn. Locked and loaded.
In reality, I probably would be better off using Neo Shell just to try to inflict a defense debuff. Doesn't really matter though. So right here, the dark matter hits on Rean are actually accumulating enough to where he can't move anymore.
Here we go.
You can see how small the radius is on Autumn Leaf Cutter. If I wanted to hit them both, I'd have to use Arc Slash or something, but I'm not totally sure these guys can be delayed. Like they're, if you looked at the turn order, they didn't move at all.
Focus activate.
So I'm trying to queue up a Maelstrom, but it takes forever to cast, unfortunately. You can see Emma is back down. The Grail Locket is equipped on Elliot, I believe.
Hang in there, everyone.
And we don't have the accessory for being rank A0 just yet, which also gives status immunity.
Here we go. There.
And at long last, here's the Maelstrom. So in my opinion, it's a little underwhelming for how long we have to wait for that damn thing to cast. But it did do a nice little chunk of damage, got me further along to ending this. Now I'm trying to save Machias' life here by using 7th Rhapsody to confuse.
You've been a wonderful audience.
And you can see it did kill one, but not the one that's going to kill Machias.
I'm sorry,
This can't be
everyone.
happening. Here we go.
So I was planning on trying to draw this fight out a bit to bring them back. But then he had to go and swing at Rean.
My turn.
This is a wasted item. Swing and a miss. And good night.
Too slow. Okay, it's safe for now.
So you can see Emma and Machias still get EXP here, which comes in handy because that's the highest payout I've ever gotten
I did
here.
it!
Like I said a little bit earlier, the payout for most of these fights suck. They're not really worth the hassle of going through with it. My reward for this is the Deus Gem, Deus being Latin for God, if you're not aware. This reduces the cost of your arts. And I believe I put this on Emma. No, I put it on Elliot. So it's an EP cut 3 of sorts. It's a quarter reduction compared to the 15 that you get from 2. Sadly, this isn't quite like Sky where you can get better EP reductions because the spells here are just outrageously priced. 300 for a heal? That's insane. Definitely one of the things I hope gets fixed going into the second chapter, because those are what's really handicapping spells from being really worthwhile. Doesn't hurt that they have a massive cast time, but they also cost you an arm and a leg.
Dangerous foe. Stay on guard.
Bit of a sudden jump, I know, but we're here to get the final weapons. So you can go to George and have him turn the Zemurian ore shards into Zemurian ore, and then you can forge your weapons. I get Byakuya for Rean. I get the Lunar Witch for Emma, because I definitely like her casting abilities. And then your final weapon depends on who else you want to use. I got the Cutting Edge trophy for making one of these weapons, but I went for Valkyria for Laura. Now I'm also making a weapon for Elliot because you know my party. In case you're wondering why I'm using Machias, it's just because he's good at clearing out mobs. And he's still using the Phantom SG, I believe it's called, that we got back in Ruhr. So, like, if you're wondering if that's really his best weapon other than the Zemurian weapon, it's still subjective. You can keep him using the Flare Tempest or whatever the shotgun is called. It has its own merits, which I believe is that it's faster than the one he's using here in the Phantom, because that's more strength-focused. Right here we're doing the last bit of collecting loot before we go face off with the boss.
Eat that! I've got this!
This monster seems dangerous. Be careful. This monster seems dangerous. Be careful.
challenging foe. We should engage it with care. Challenging foe. We should engage it with care. Is that a treasure chest?
It's a treasure chest!
This looks like...
I can sense something inside.
What?
Where are we?
Are we dreaming? It feels too real to be a dream.
A sea of blades stretching out as far as the eye can see.
Is this a battlefield? Yeah. Be careful, it's coming. Is this it for us?
How are we supposed to match this kind of power?
Stand tall. We're stronger than our fear.
Target confirmed. Commencing assault.
This is it. The final trial. We stand before a great darkness. Remember, darkness can't exist where light is. Let's be that light!
Right.
Okay.
So to chime in before the boss fight begins, this is the guy that you see at the very end of the intro, in case you forgot the opening song. His name is Loa Erebonius, which I guess is supposed to sound like a genus species name of some sort. We're starting off here.
Great towers. Lord of Rean. Rest in peace.
And if you're wondering why we started off with that, it's to thin out the horde. That way he has fewer things out there, and unfortunately, the whole summon ally thing for him is such a cheap spell.
Here we go!
Like, my
Alright,
biggest
let's
complaint
do
about this
this.
guy is that nothing he casts or does has any sort of delay. So whatever he wants to do, it's
Listen
done.
to my song of
There's
news.
nothing you can do to preempt it.
You have my things.
So right there I had to wake Laura up because she was nightmared. Using Brilliant Spin to hit all of those and try to take them out as well as damage the walls. Due to the Master Quartz Laura's using, she gets a 50% strength bonus at the beginning. Helps for thinning out the next wave he spawns. And in case you're wondering what that is, that's the reason why this guy is so freaking annoying. So one of his things is he eats a character. They lose something like a quarter to a fifth of their health every turn until you free them. As for freeing them,
My turn.
you have to deal a certain amount of damage or do something. Like, I could not find something consistently to determine. You'll see over the course of this fight I do different things trying to force him to spit the guy out. And there's just no consistency. So while that character is swallowed, you lose out on any sort of link bonus you had going. That means you lose out on the burst effect. The burst link attack. So, like, the way I was thinking of this boss when I was fighting him is that this is the guy who was designed perfectly to exploit every single weakness in the battle system. So the link attack stuff was put in to basically make are physical attacks and crafts somewhat relevant as the game progressed. Because in Sky, they would fall off extremely hard, and at the end of the game, you were just casting spells. And all the progress that the devs made just went out the window here. Because, like, right now, I don't have a single link in place. And that's how this fight's going to be going, because if he doesn't eat them, he's just going to outright kill them. And I will warn you right now, if you want to see his moves, I skip over all of them because they're...
Right.
To explain real quick, they would blend in perfectly during the 90s, where people were showing off FMV and trying to just display the graphics of games. And if you're wondering what I mean by this, all of his moves have these extremely long animations, and he, due to the sheer amount of HP this guy has, you'll be seeing them again, and again, and again, and again, and again. So in case you're wondering, one thing you have to watch out for is the one-turn wipe. The way this will work is he'll eat your guy that has the most HP, and then he'll use his big move that does around 6,000 to 7,000 damage on the remaining characters. So best case scenario, you keep everyone pretty topped off, but it's not always possible. And the guy can impede, in case you're wondering, so even if you're trying to cast a big spell like Surrender, not safe. So I'm using this to top everyone off, revive Emma, and get the healing buff in place. That will give me a little bit of room to maneuver, but this guy is so freaking annoying.
My turn.
So I have to get the links back in place since I now have Emma back. And I recommend using her S-Break to thin out the horde more often than not, because hers just isn't really that impressive. The damage is fairly lackluster. It did something like 6,000 to 7,000 damage, when the other guys will be doing 15,000 to 20,000 without any sort of buff. So Emma's is simply just good for trying to get numbers under control. Anything else is beyond her scope.
Arcus activate.
So right here is his big move.
You okay? Thank you very much.
Stand down!
And if you look, he gets a turn already before either Rean or Laura get one, which is one of the things I think is so stupid about this fight. There's just no punishment or nothing. Yeah, there's just nothing regarding his moves. You can't try to get a delay in or anything to try to get some healing. He casts almost instant. Well, he does cast instantly, he just uses crafts.
Burn to ash!
All in all, I'd say this is probably the least thought-out boss I've seen so far in the game. And if you're wondering why I was using Altair Cannon there, it was simply because I was anticipating him to spawn in new enemies. So I wanted to be prepared, that way if they spawn in, they'll just instantly die and he'll be out in a fraction of a turn, because that's all it costs to summon. You'll notice he waited until after the spell passed to actually summon.
Wasn't strong enough.
So right there we lost Laura,
My turn.
and Emma is still on death's door. So you need to kind of get the fragments under control, because they can inflict status effects, which make them a little bit annoying. Like right there I managed to Nightmare one, that means I can leave him alone while I just try to focus on bigger fish. One of which being Serene Blessing on Laura to give her some health. And since this is an instant cast move, it will also allow Emma to get the healing from her buff. As for Elliot, yeah, you want to make sure you hit the boss with every single attack you can send his way. And it's also important you make sure he does not get those healing turns, because they heal him for 20,000 HP minimum. He's another example of how the HP of the various enemies have just gone way off the deep end.
My turn.
As I was saying earlier, this guy is essentially the final boss. You do have to fight some guys after this, but he's the one who actually has the final boss challenge factor, and it's just due to him exploiting the system. That's kind of it. No arts for you to use any sort of impede. He's immune to delay. Well, he's not immune, but he has something like a 90% resistance to delay. You will be able to delay him every now and then, but it's nothing you can actually bet your life on, respectively. So we now have Laura back. He called allies. Like usually, I'm going to be skipping the animation because it gets tedious.
Arcus activate!
I will admit one of the things that's going to give me a little bit of trouble in this fight is simply that
Wasn't strong enough.
my guys are something like level 63 maybe, and you're supposed to be around 70 for this fight, I think. So that is a bit of a factor. As for right here, I want to make sure that I get the crit turn. And by using Soul Blow, there is a chance you can stagger the boss or feint him, whatever I think it is. It's just not really something I'd recommend. Anyway, right here I'm going to use the Rhapsody move to pick off the fragments, I believe. And you can see that those took about 7,000 each. It would have been a little bit better if I could have buffed Elliot's arts, but it's not really worth it. Due to how characters are going to be dropping like flies periodically here, I'm not going to be saving up CP. So we're leading off with the Hydro Cannon. Unfortunately, due to the enemy's height, you can't see how much damage he's taking, but I think it's somewhere between 3,000 to 4,000 a shot.
My turn.
So right there, I renewed the Link, but I don't actually have the CP to use Armor Breaker. But I'm free to take a hit. And after eating Rean, you can see he immediately beats Rean again. So I do lose out on the hit points there because he's pinned down. I lose out on his turn. And without Rean down, I don't really have much to do with Laura, so I'm just using her attack right now to generate CP for when I do get him back.
You okay?
Thank you very much.
And in case you're wondering, I will actually use Tier in this fight to show you how the auto Tier is kind of a waste of a Link level. And I'm not talking about one of your levels, it's just something that the devs should have thought out better, or put scaling or something on.
Now.
One thing that I do kind of like is that, unlike some of the other RPGs out there who fall apart as soon as you set foot in the final dungeon, this one holds up a little bit better, but this guy needs some more work.
My turn!
So I did renew the Link, but since Laura is under a stats effect, there isn't really much I can do with her.
My turn!
As a result, I'm just casting Soul Blur to try to bide some time.
Arcus activate!
I try Frost Edge here, and I can't tell how effective it is, so I can't actually comment. It's a bit disappointing how Soul Blur will actually zoom in on the enemy so you can see the damage, but Frost Edge and the other ones are too low.
It's my turn.
So if you wanted to find out how much damage you're doing, you actually have to look at it before and after and determine it from that. Now, since I have a bit of downtime, I'm using EP Charge and Emma, that way she can cast a bit more once this fight starts picking up again. But we've almost got the boss down to half health, and we have the other half to go. And as you can see, he's still eating. So now Laura is down with the stats effect, Elliot is in the thing's head, and it's kind of hard to get Elliot back because right now my DPS is severely crippled.
Here we go!
So I finally get a crit after fainting the guy, and I can't do anything because Laura is down. I could try swapping over from Emma to Rean, linking those two to try to get something, but not really worth it, I'd say. Last we have Elliot back. Rean's turn is up, he gets a charge of EP. And I'm back to casting Soul Blur. So in case you're wondering, I am trying to build up a little bit of CP here, and I'm also trying to feint the So I have to renew the link after coming out of that thing's stomach.
Give it up, everyone!
These are resounding me to give a buff to Laura and Emma because I'm anticipating the finishing, or his big attack, I forget what it's called exactly, is coming.
Arcus, activate.
So I want them to top themselves
My
off
turn.
and potentially live.
Shatter!
So Armor Breaker connects, I can follow that up with an
Now.
assist. Can't quite tell how much damage I did, but we're slowly making progress. Really, really slowly.
It's my
Still
turn.
progress. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've used Detector on this thing yet, have I? I don't know if I've actually got the information in pod.
Thanks!
My turn.
In the event you want everything, you do have to play the game over again, so...
Arcus, activate.
Right there is the big move.
You okay?
You can see Rean didn't
Thank you very
survive.
much.
I'm sorry, everyone.
He eats Laura, so she's gonna go down. In case you're wondering, she'll lose HP from both her burn as well as the damage over time. So she's pretty much dead to wounds. Here I'm just anticipating her demise.
Wasn't strong enough.
The good news is if he kills them by eating them, they do come out immediately. So right here I will get them back. It's astounding I have to pay a quarter of my EP to actually heal my team. The AoE spells in this game kind of suck. They're really, really expensive.
My turn!
My turn.
So right here I have to get my CP back, so I have to start whacking the thing like a chump.
Here we go.
And if you look at Emma's CP, you should know this is coming.
Rise, great towers! Lord of Varian! Rest in peace.
So he wastes his turn respawning stuff, but it's like half turn, like I said. The main advantage I got from all that is just that it delays
My
the
turn.
turns of all those little shadow bastards he spawned. And as you can see, I don't have Laura set up for much of any spells. So she has to just start swinging.
Here we go.
I could have cast Ragna Vortex, but it would have taken too long, and her art stat is pretty pitiful, so it's just not worth the hassle. If I were to use Laura for much of anything, it'd probably be buffs here, and still I'd rather have her contribute DPS, and she does have some burning weapon. And down goes Emma.
Oh no, you don't.
So we have the Hydro Cannon come out. Takes out 2 of the small fry while still hitting the boss. Cross Crusade is a bit overkill here, but it's still kind of nice to do some more damage as well as finish off the horde.
Right. Shatter!
So yeah, we've been in this fight for 17 minutes approximately. And in case you're wondering, those crit turns, he can wipe you if you're not careful. So generally you don't want to let him get the crit turns.
Burn to ash. Ha! Go! Laura!
Of course!
I think I switched up to Hydro Cannon. Yeah, I switched to Hydro Cannon from here, I think. Yes.
Arcus activate!
So if you notice,
Oh no, you don't!
the width on Elliot's spells are smaller than Emma's. That's because of her Master
turn.
Quartz, in case you're wondering. I forgot which one it is I
Shatter.
stuck her with, but it increases the spell's cost and power, as well as their range. Or the radius, or even the width. Just, it's something you want to put on a dedicated caster, because it makes me more caster focused.
Here we go! Burn to ash!
And right here, I'm desperately trying to get a burn on him because it will take off something like 15,000, I think it was. Basically, it speeds up the fight immensely if you can get a burn on
My
him,
turn.
but it's really, really hard to do. So right here, I'm wondering, am I going to lose someone? Should I just start casting Seraphic Ring now, or what? In case you're wondering, the final one is behind him, I believe. That's why there's two here. The third one's off camera right now.
Of
You
course.
can see it right now next to Laura.
Too slow! Here we go!
So I can't use Purgatorial Flame anymore, but it's not really something I convinced would really be worth using, to be honest. Cross Crusade is a lot more helpful here because of those core bullets. Gonna hit all the small fry and take them out. You can kind of see them panicking because they know what's coming,
My turn.
apparently. So I fire off an Earth Cleaver here, which leaves them both on Death's Door. So the Cross Crusade will finish them off probably with an overkill bonus, but I don't think we get any EXP from this fight, so it doesn't matter. So at this point I was wondering if I left one
Sorry,
up,
everyone.
would he kind of stop spawning them? Because I could probably deal with one of them plus the boss. It's just I didn't bother playing around with this guy enough to see what all his moves do exactly, as well as
My turn!
just trying to find any sort of loophole in his AI to exploit. Now, with Elliot getting nabbed, that means I have to revive Emma using
Thank you
items.
very much.
Normally, that's something I would get upset about. The thing is, I have all these items and nowhere really to use them since we're at the end of the game and those aren't carried over.
Shatter!
My turn!
So yes, the turn I fainted him, he acted immediately afterward and faint.
Yeah!
So I feint him once again. And I want to make sure that I get a spell off before he gets a turn. Don't remember why I went for this one in particular, but I did.
My turn.
No armor breaker, sadly, but...
Here we go!
Wait, is he not fainting? I can't tell what that icon is. It might actually be it's a debuff, isn't it?
Yeah!
Okay. This right here is Altair Cannon. One of the things that sucks about providing post-game commentary here is that some of the things are extremely hard to see.
Of course.
Go!
So Arc Slash, I believe this delays him. I think it's the... No, it didn't.
Oh no, you don't!
I think I delay him once this entire fight. Right there, he used his big
Sorry,
move to wipe out my
everyone.
2 healers.
Of course.
And he's so close to dying that I just figure I'll push forward.
Thanks.
Normally, after a certain
Here we
point,
go.
I'd usually just throw in the towel on the fight, reload, and do something
Now's a
else.
chance!
An opening!
It's just, this time, I'm a little
Oh,
fed
no,
up
you
on
don't.
it.
Here
Hopefully
we
you can
go.
see his sheer ridiculous damage output.
Of course.
My turn.
So I think it's pretty safe to say he's the hardest enemy we fought up to this point. I think he's... Okay, that's really... And at this point I was kind of thinking I have to write off Rean. There's no way I'm going to be able to get him out. Elliot has pretty much burned up all his EP and healing duty. Emma... Right. With her. She would be my ideal damage dealer with spells. It's just she keeps going down and gets ass bombed or something.
Right.
So I have to use the EP item to get some more spells from Elliot.
Yeah.
Get the link in place. And here I decided to start using Volcanic Rain because I'm trying to burn him just to get that extra damage.
Right.
Like, I don't know if he gets healed for having that one guy inside of him. I would not be surprised if he did. It'd just be another annoying aspect of this fight. But you can see he does get healed for doing his swing move. Which I can more than offset with just Emma. Fire would have been a nice bonus.
Not yet.
And I'm tired of reviving people, so that's why I have Rean use a tier all bomb on himself. That way he's a little bit insulated from just getting wiped out by the boss.
Focus activate.
Like, one tip I can give you is once you see an exclamation point in your turn order, panic because you can't get wiped. But at long last, we're starting to wind this damn thing down.
No escape.
Unfortunately, this time for Brilliant Spin, I don't have the strength buff. In case you're wondering, the time I had that was like the first or second turn of this fight, about 20 minutes ago by now. Yeah, the thing doesn't even have any weaknesses for me to exploit or anything. So,
Here we go.
So remember the final boss in Sky 2nd chapter? He has a rotating element of sorts. Like he'll nullify one, I think that the others deal two of them deal normal damage, then one deals double damage. This guy does not do that simply.
Go.
But then again, this is not a high-ranked member of Ouroboros either, so there's that. And if you notice, I don't have the CP to just insta-give the guy, so instead I just figure I'll use the Armor Breaker. Now I do have a rush option on the table if I can stagger it one more time.
Here we go.
And worst come to worst, if I don't stagger him, if I can ignite him, that's just as good.
Go.
Understood.
So 26 minutes later, we are finally through this damn thing. So I'll let some scenes play out, but we are pretty much done with this video. The next one will be the ending of the game as well as the last day of the festival, which I'm praying doesn't set off any flags on YouTube.
Terminating the final trial. Take heed, Awakener. Here exists a fragment of the great power. The flame and the jaws that devour the world.
understand.
Hey, can you hear me? Pull yourself together.
Are you all right? We're back where we were?
Were we caught up in some kind of vision?
Well, doesn't look like anyone's missing an arm or anything like that.
Don't scare us like that. We had no idea what happened to you.
You're all here too. So, what was that, Emma?
I believe what we experienced was some sort of vision, which would mean what we saw wasn't, strictly speaking, real. But it does seem like in overcoming it, we managed to pass the trial that was mentioned earlier. The fact that Instructor Sarah and the others are here supports that idea too.
So, wait.
Then the fact that they're down here means...
Everything's back to normal? Sure looks like it. The bell stopped ringing, and that field of energy around the building is gone.
We won't know for sure without a more thorough investigation. But it looks like the building's gone back to normal, too.
Well, that's the best news I've heard all night. So now we can go ahead and have the festival tomorrow, just like it should be, right?
Sorry, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
But
Why? Everything's back to normal now, isn't it?
Oh, come on, Sarah. That just ain't cool.
I know there's no guarantee this won't happen again, but even still.
Oh, come on, Instructor. They're too tired to get your jokes.
The festival can't go on tomorrow, like she said. But that's because it's after midnight now. So, it'll be happening today.
oh,
I see. I didn't realize I had gotten that lead already.
You really had me going there.
It's too late for your humor, Sarah.
It's 20 minutes past midnight right now. And considering the principal only gave you until midnight, I think you all should be marching straight to bed. After all, you've got your big show coming up this afternoon.
You bet we do.
All right, let's head back to the dorms, take a quick shower, then go... What?
The door!
Hold on. Wasn't there a red jewel there in the center of the door?
I don't know. It seems to have vanished. Hey, look. What?
Whoa.
So here's one of the moments you've been waiting
Wow,
for.
top marks! I'm so proud of you.
440 AP, which I believe is the max.
I
We got
got
the
a
Medal
little
of Dawn as a
reward here for
reward,
you.
which is a Grail locket combined with like the Lionheart medal or something
Keep
like
up the
that.
good work.
We got the Valedictorian trophy. We got our final
You
rank
guys are the
S.
best!
And that's pretty much it for AP. So at this point, rest on your laurels until you actually deal with the final boss. But in the meantime, there's a concert to perform.